Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alright, so a couple weeks ago, I was at a train station in Japan, and I was needing to use the restroom. And when I say I was needing to use the restroom, I mean that I was needing to sit down on a toilet. I walked to the closest bathroom, and I walked inside, and I noticed that it wasn't the cleanest by any means. It hadn't been freshened up in a couple hours at a minimum. And I was like, all right, yeah, no biggie. You know, I've got no problem with doing my business in a slightly dirty bathroom. Hey, whatever works, works kind of thing. That's my take. I walk over to the stalls and I've got my backpack on my back. I swing my backpack around to my front, just take it off before I walk into the stalls, as stalls in Japan can be a little bit tighter than not. And so I've got my backpack in my hand, I walk into the stall, I close the door, and I start glancing around, looking around for like a jacket hook or some sort of bag holder or some sort of shelf to put my bag down on so I don't have to put it on the floor. And I see nothing, like nothing at all. Not even that the bag hook is broken or the jacket hook is broken or that there used to be a shelf but there's not anymore. No, there was nothing. And this was my first ever time experiencing that in Japan. Because 99.9% of the times when you go to the bathroom in Japan, there is a jacket rack, a bag rack, and a shelf. And there might even be some sort of thing you can like fold down to like change your shoes on and stuff like that kind of thing so your socks don't have to touch the floor. But not in this scenario. This was that 0.1% chance scenario that happened. And since I needed to sit down on the toilet, I ended up putting my backpack down on the bathroom floor. And before putting my backpack down, I was looking at the floor and it was, yes, moderately sticky. I really did not enjoy that experience, I will acknowledge. I was really not a particularly big fan of putting my backpack down on that floor. And like normally I don't mind putting my backpack down on the ground. I'll put my backpack down on the ground at my Airbnb, at where I'm sitting right now, in a public park next to a river. These are not the cleanest surfaces by any means, but they're certainly not a sticky public bathroom floor. I, frankly put, never want to go through the experience of having to put down my backpack on a dirty, disgusting floor ever again. And so after having had that experience, I started looking around for options. How to keep my bag off the floor of a bathroom when there's no bag hook or anything else to put my bag on. And I remembered an article I read a couple years ago about little trinkets and just items that you can just throw onto your backpack and they might be useful eventually, kind of thing. Just like a gear blog that I read a couple years ago. And I remembered that this write-up had mentioned some sort of carabiner and bag holder combo thing. And so I started looking into it a little bit more, and I found what I was looking for. I was like, okay, cool. Carabiner bag holder combo made out of metal called a HEROCLIP. I was like, I think this is exactly what I'm looking for. So over the last couple of weeks, since that experience in that public restroom, I've been looking around for a HEROCLIP in Japan. Now they sell them on Amazon, but I didn't really feel like getting one through Amazon, so I was just looking at any camping store I saw. I just walked into and looked around for it. Some had them, some didn't. Some had them, but they were really expensive, and some others just didn't have them. Pretty much most everywhere that carried them, they were a bit too overpriced. But yesterday, I went to a camping store in Ikebukuro that had a small size carabiner for not terribly more than what they are priced at online in the United States. I paid 3,960 yen for this HEROCLIP small size bag holder slash carabiner, and the normal price of these on Japanese Amazon, I want to say, is like 3,300 yen. What I paid for this one was like $27. The normal price is like $25, and the normal price in the United States is like, I want to say, $22. So I ended up paying like $5 more than I otherwise would have if I wanted one of these. But I was like, you know what? I'm here for another couple weeks. And, well, I do tend to use public restrooms in Japan a little bit more so than not. You know, you gotta go kind of thing. And I was like, I'm not putting my bag down on the ground again, because I've always got my backpack on me. I never don't have it on me, I will acknowledge. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it. And so I did. And, well, today I am gonna be making a video about this carabiner slash bag holder right here. And I'm going to be answering the question, is the HEROCLIP carabiner slash bag holder a worthwhile purchase or not? That is the question that I want to answer during this video today. And yeah, I'm looking forward to making this video. This is something I've been wanting for the last couple weeks, and even though I overpaid a little bit, I am nonetheless very glad to have picked one of these up. And I'm hoping and I'm thinking that it's going to work for what I want. But I don't know anything for sure, so I'm looking forward to finding out for the very first time today. Without further ado, I do suppose I should probably go ahead and quickly cover just what the carabiner bag holder actually looks like and cover the packaging to an extent as well. And then after that, I'm thinking I should probably go ahead and cut the zip ties, get this out of the board it's on, or off of the board it's on, to say it correctly. And then after that, I'm thinking I should clip it to my backpack that I have right here. And I'm thinking that I should test this out for the very first time and find out if I actually think this is going to work for what I want, and if this was a worthwhile. I had that going decently, and then I just got stumbled up on one of my words. You know, it happens. It is what it is. But we're going to be finding out if this was actually a worthwhile purchase or not as well, is what I was trying to say. But first off, as said, let's go ahead and just cover the look of the bag holder slash carabiner, the HEROCLIP bag holder slash carabiner, size small to be precise. And well, down below, down here, we can see it just looks like a pretty normal carabiner. Nothing too crazy by any means. Has a nice satisfying opening with a nice click, I would have to say. However, above this main carabiner area, it gets a little bit different, I will acknowledge, because we can't see it goes to this like plastic piece right here that's got some like metal inserts kind of holding everything together. And this is a piece that can rotate around just a little bit and go like that as well. So it's meant to give you some leverage. So no matter what, no matter how your bag is positioned, and no matter what bag you're using, this clip up top, which is a curved metal piece with a little grommet on the end of it that gives it a little bit of grip if you're using it on a countertop, can kind of just make sure it's holding everything just nicely and neatly, and it's not going to be weighted to one side over the other side and stuff like that kind of thing. This is meant to be something that can hold your bag up no matter what. And the impression I get based off of the build quality is that, yeah, this is probably going to work for that, because frankly put, this is decent build quality, I will acknowledge. Now, is it $27 for a carabiner good build quality? I'll acknowledge I do think these are a little bit overpriced, without a doubt. But it's what I wanted, it's what's available, and it is name brand. So I'm okay with paying it. But if there's a cheaper alternative at a lower price with the same quality, then I really do think that's going to be the better option, frankly put. But overall, this is a good quality product, just having felt it for a little while. The metal is really nice. The opening of the carabiner itself is pretty solid, and it looks like everything is going to fold over itself and be all neat when not being used as well, I will acknowledge. Without further ado, now that I've covered the look of the carabiner and bag holder itself, the HEROCLIP itself, let's go and just quickly go over the packaging. We can see we got a little bit of, I'd have to say, a red down here, a little bit of gray up top, and man, something bit my arm like twice. That is so itchy. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I don't know what bit my arm. I'm just gonna stand up for a minute. I feel like I have bugs on me. I've been sitting here and there are some bugs on the ground, I will acknowledge, but I really do feel like one of them crawled up my arm and bit me or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but hopefully anything that was on me is off now. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. Red background down here, gray up here, just at the top over here, we can see it just says small size. This has a max kilogram rating of 22 kilograms. That's the max load. And that's like, what, I want to say like 50, 60 pounds, something like that. So that's a pretty good load rating for a carabiner this small, if you ask me, but definitely not enough for rock climbing without a doubt. On this side, we can see it just says Gear Aid right there, which is the actual company that makes the HEROCLIP. And underneath the little curved piece of the HEROCLIP, it just says HEROCLIP right there in white, transitioning from that red to the gray background. We can see the price I paid right there. Just says 3,960 yen. That is how much I paid. Below that, it just says hybrid gear clip. You can move it 360 degrees. This kind of moves just like that and whatnot. And then it just says weight 31 grams. And then there's just a little bit of a demonstration of how it works down there as well. And that's what it's supposed to look like when you're using it to hold everything up. And that's pretty much all that's going on with the front of the packaging. Moving on to the back, it's pretty much all informational, all in white and a black and white print. Actually, now, I wouldn't say it's black and white print. I would say it's a higher quality print than that. It's probably not actually black and white, especially since there is a little bit of a yellow sticker right there. But it's just more in black and white than not. And they have a full black HEROCLIP. I've got the black and red, but they do make full black in a bunch of different colors as well, I will acknowledge. But it just says hook, hang, or securely clip your gear with HEROCLIP. Whether at camp, in the garage, or on the go, this sturdy, compact, rotating clip will become your favorite hands-free helper. So yeah, they're advertising it not just as being something that you can use to hold your backpack up when you're in a bathroom with no backpack rack, but also as just a put your backpack off the ground wherever you are kind of thing, of course. And then it says a bunch of stuff in Japanese that I don't know, and then it just says ideal for backpacks, dry bags, PFDs, which I think is like flotation devices, and apparently speakers as well. I do think some JBLs come with like a little thing or something like that. So I guess if you're hanging out and you had your JBL speaker with its little dongle on it, then you might want to use this to hold it off the ground or something along those lines. Then it just has some images right here with some text just describing what's going on and what the different aspects of it are. Just has that text right there saying compact, and this is it all folded up. So that's it in the compact size, and this is it in the expanded size. And just says this is the gate, this is the where it rotates 360 degrees, folds right there, and has the hang hook right there, and just a rubber foot for extra grip right there as well. And yeah, that's more so than not what is going on with the back of this packaging. I do suppose without further ado, I should probably go ahead and get the HEROCLIP all out of the packaging and see if I can actually use it for the first time and find out what my initial impressions of it actually are, and find out whether I think it is a worthwhile purchase or not. I have a pair of kitchen scissors with me today that I'm just getting out real quick because I don't have a knife. I didn't bring a knife to Japan, kind of a bad idea, and I didn't bring a pair of scissors to Japan either. From what I know, you are allowed to walk around with scissors in your backpack in Japan. However, I don't think TSA would appreciate that, so I didn't get a pair, and I'm not going to buy a pair here because TSA will not like that on the way back either. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut it from the front. I'm going to cut it from the back so I don't actually scratch this, even though it is probably going to get scratched. So I'm going to be leaving it on my backpack all the time, I'll acknowledge. But that's one cut. And oh Oh, I just realized I need to grab a thumbnail. I'm just gonna... No, that doesn't work. Where'd that zip tie go? It disappeared. Oh, there it is, I found it. Okay. I'm just gonna run it back through real quick. I cannot believe I forgot to grab a thumbnail. Well, hopefully one of those will do as a thumbnail. We will find out. Now I can go ahead and actually get this all undone though. These scissors are working great, no complaints on my behalf. And I'm gonna go and put them back in the plastic bag. I put them in, come in here, in. And I'm gonna put them back in my backpack. And I'm gonna put all of the trash from the HEROCLIP packaging in my backpack as well. Can't be littering, of course. And now that I've done that, let's just fiddle with this just for a moment and see just what the quality's like now that I'm actually holding it in my hand for the first time. Overall, not heavy by any means. Definitely quite light. You can tell, made out of aluminum, I want to say. See, folds up pretty nicely like that. Oh, yep. And we'll see, just try to get it to... Does this move? Just seeing if that moves. I'm not able to get that to move. Am I supposed to... I think that's what I'm supposed to do. There we go. Just like that. Okay. So you do kind of have to fiddle with it just a little bit, like open like that, and then twist it around, and then open it up, kind of thing. But after a little bit of fiddling around, it closes up very neatly, I will acknowledge, and it gets pretty small. I mean, like, in this size, it's a bit cumbersome to kind of have on the outside of your backpack, in my opinion, but if you got it down to, like, I'd have to say, like, right here, I mean, like, this is no bigger than just a normal thick carabiner. Not too bad by any means. All right. Okay. Gets pretty small, feels good quality. We can see it just says gear aid right there, and just has the US patent number, and it says not for climbing. It says a small, max 50 pounds or 22 kg, made in China. And it's got the like gear aid logo right there and whatnot. The logo's not too big by any means, which I will acknowledge is appreciated. But yeah, rotates 360 degrees just fine, so you can just do that and go like that kind of thing. Okay, all right, I gotta admit, good quality product. Is it a bit expensive for the quality? Yes. Is it a bit expensive for what you get? In my opinion, a little bit. I do think it is a bit expensive for what you get. But I'm thinking this will work for exactly what I need. Folds up compact, not too heavy, pretty dang light actually, and lighter than some other carabiners I've used in the past. And overall, just feels like a quality product. I'd hope so. At $27 for a carabiner. Bag holder combo, granted, but yes, it's still a carabiner technically. But yeah, I would hope that this wouldn't be too expensive, and thankfully it isn't. I'm getting more jumbled up. I would hope that this would be good quality for the price, and thankfully it is, I will acknowledge. It is solid quality for the price. And it's light, as said. But does it actually work for what I needed? That's what I need to find out next, to find out if this is actually a worthwhile purchase or not. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip up my backpack real quick. Now, I don't have too much in my backpack. I have 1 can of alcohol, plus a couple tripods and a bunch of trash and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy heavy. I don't have my laptop in there right now, I will acknowledge. I do want to clarify. I'm just gonna pick up my camera just a little bit, just so I can stand up and y'all can still see like kind of what's going on and whatnot. But I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my backpack right here. It's got on my leg right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put the carabiner on it. And yeah, no, that works. Yeah, doesn't feel like it's gonna break the carabiner by any means. Just I'm honestly more worried about this strap snapping off of my backpack than this breaking right now, in all honesty, and yeah, rotates around very fluidly. Okay, well, I've got some metal beams over here. I am gonna go ahead and put my backpack on one of these metal beams and see if it holds up on one of these metal beams. This is what it's advertised to. Will it work? If it doesn't work, my backpack will fall into the river, which I would really prefer that not happen. No, okay, so if you are want to hang your stuff on a metal beam like this one, the clip that I'm using right now is probably not going to be for you because that metal beam, frankly put, it's just too wide. It's not wide enough. This piece right here is not wide enough for a metal beam like that. So if you think that you're going to be hanging, oh no, my phone's on 20%. That's okay. It is what it is. But if you think that you're going to be hanging your backpack on like a lot of metal beams like that, then I'm thinking at least the small size is not going to be for you. One of the larger sizes might work, but since I don't have experience with those, I can't say whether they'll actually fit over a metal beam like that. But what I can say is that this is definitely big enough for a bathroom stall, without a doubt. And while I wasn't quite willing to let go of my backpack on that metal beam just because I was standing right next to the river, and if I had let my backpack go, then if it had fallen, it would have fallen possibly into the river, which I'm not really a big fan of. I think the only thing worse than having my backpack on the floor of a bathroom is having my backpack in a river. And I don't want to go through that, frankly put, because I quite like my backpack. But yeah, I mean, like, just based off this one experience, based off of just me using it for a minute, I definitely do think that this will work just fine for bathroom stalls. And I also think that this will work for countertops. Like if I wanted to put it down on a counter or something like that kind of thing and just having it holding off the floor, I think that this little knob right here will do a good job of kind of keeping it there. My only really concern is something like, let's say, a marbleized counter that is kind of slick. Like if it's like a wooden counter with a little bit of roughness to it, I think it's going to be fine. But something a little bit slick, this just feels, it's hard plastic kind of thing. It's got a little bit of a matte finish to it, so it's got a little bit of grip, but it's nothing crazy. I'm sure it's got a decent amount of grip under pressure when it's actually being held down and whatnot, but just right now it doesn't really feel like it actually does. But overall, you know, this feels like a quality product. Let's go and just mess around with it just a little bit more. Yeah, oh, works for, I think, exactly what I needed to do. I think this is going to do a pretty good job at holding my backpack up off of bathroom floors, frankly put, and it ain't breaking a sweat doing so. Now, as I said, I don't have my laptop in this backpack or anything like that. Now, my backpack normally is not 50 pounds. I don't walk around with a 50-pound backpack. I think my backpack this trip, I want to say it was like 9 kilograms, maybe 10 kilograms, something like that. It's not super heavy by any means. I'm like, the max for this is 22, so I'm well within the use quantities, the use specifications of it. So that's no problem, I will acknowledge. But yeah, no, I think this is gonna work for what I need, I will acknowledge. And do I think this is gonna hold my backpack up off of a bathroom floor? Yeah, I do think it is going to. Now, is this a really expensive gadget to have just to hold your backpack up off of a bathroom floor? Yes, it absolutely is. This is an expensive gadget to have just to have that one thing, and for it to do that one thing once in a blue moon. To me, it's worth it because I don't want my backpack on the bathroom floor. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This is a over $20 carabiner. It's a fancy carabiner, but it's still just an over $20 carabiner that can also hold your bag up. If you don't need it, if you don't think you need it, I don't think there's any point in you buying it. I don't, if you can't envision yourself ever putting down your backpack on the bathroom floor, I don't see why you would need it. If you don't think you're gonna need this, there's absolutely no point to buy it, I will acknowledge. That's my take. I mean, like, there's some gadgets out there, whether they're just like everyday carry gadgets or travel gadgets. This is a combination of both, in my opinion. And I will be keeping this on my backpack even when I'm at home, because I do find stalls with no sort of bag hook or anything like that in America far more than I do in Japan. It's just not something that is of big as a concern of mine, because if I walk into a bathroom like that, normally I don't have my backpack on the back, because it'll be like in Walmart or at a park and I left my backpack in the car, or I can just walk back out to my car and put my bag in my car so I don't have to put it on the floor, kind of thing. It's not as big of a deal in the United States, but this is still something that I'm absolutely going to be keeping on my backpack all the time. But do I think, I'm going to go and just answer the question. I'm getting kind of sidetracked. Do I think that the HEROCLIP bag clip / carabiner is worth purchasing? To me, it was absolutely worth purchasing. Now, do I think it's a bit overpriced for what it is? Absolutely, I do think it is. And do I think I got overcharged for this one in specific? Yes, absolutely I do. I will not deny that. However, even with the price, even if I only use it once in a blue moon, this is still worth it to me to never, ever, ever have to put my bag down on a bathroom floor ever again. That's my take. I think this bag holder / carabiner right here, the HEROCLIP, absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it, to me at least. Now, do I think it's worth purchasing for everybody? Well, if you don't walk around with a backpack, if you are a pockets only type of person, then you don't need this. A sling bag, I think it depends what country you live in. If there's gaps in the stalls, you can kind of put your sling bag through the gap and just kind of have it hanging there, kind of thing. If you're somebody that's willing to put your backpack on your lap when you're trying to take a dump, then I don't think you're gonna need this, frankly put. But I don't generally carry a sling bag. And either way, the stalls in Japan, sometimes they have gaps, most of the time they don't though. So that doesn't really work. But I would have to say, I think whether you should or shouldn't purchase this product really depends not on what I have to say or on what this product is. It depends on what you as a person are comfortable with. Do you think you need a bag holder / carabiner for over $20? If you think you do, then I think this is worth purchasing. If you think you don't, then I don't think this is worth purchasing. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I think everybody should own this product. Go click the affiliate link down below. No. If you don't need this product, don't buy it, frankly put. I'm not gonna say that everybody should own it, because I don't think there's a use case for everybody to have this. But there definitely is a use case for me. And so as such, I definitely will have to say, and I definitely am going to say, and I'm about to say, that this, to me at least, was a worthwhile purchase for me as a person to make. I have no regrets about my purchase. This is a quality item that, yes, is a bit overpriced, but it's going to work for what I want, and it fits my needs. It fits my use case. This will work for what I need. And I got no complaints on my behalf, frankly put. Do I think everybody needs one of these? No way. But if what I described going through today is something that you've had happen to you in the past, and you don't want to go through that again, one of these, or an option like it, might be worth considering, I will acknowledge. Overall, that's kind of my thoughts. Do I think you should purchase a HEROCLIP? It depends. It depends. Those are my thoughts right there, I'll acknowledge. But for me, it was worth it. No complaints on my behalf. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video today. I think I said everything I wanted to say about the HEROCLIP bag holder / carabiner. If you guys own one of these, let me know what you guys think of it in the comments down below. Do you guys like it? Do you guys use it a lot? What are your use cases for one of these? I'm curious to find out. The only thing I'm going to be using mine for is my backpack, but I'm sure there's many more use cases than just that, I will acknowledge. So let me know what you guys use these for in the comments down below if you guys own them. And of course, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. box, and my other channels. Actually, I'm getting my words all jumbled up. Not really all jumbled up. I'm just talking without thinking because my P.O. box isn't open as of this moment in time, I will acknowledge. Or at least as of the recording of this video, it's not open. But I do have a space where you can like the video down below. I do have the comment section down below, which you should definitely go check out and leave a comment. Along with, you know, Instagram, book, merch, my website, everything like that. I have all that down there. I'm a little bit out of it. I think I need to smoke, frankly put. But, yeah. Appreciate y'all watching this video today. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. To the next one, stay safe in peace and have a great one. And hope you found this video to be a useful resource. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?